My name is Rich Correll. I've been collecting sci-fi, fantasy, and horror film artifacts for 57 years. It started when I was a little kid working on a show called Leave It to Beaver. That doesn't sound like much of a horror movie, but Jerry Mathers and I were horror fans, and we would go to the Universal makeup department where we found that they were throwing a lot of things in the trash. So I started taking some things out of the trash, like the head of Mr. Hyde from Abbott and Costello Meet Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. And that started, I had a passion for this. I always loved Halloween and gothic things and scary things. My parents never got it. They didn't know why. I liked all that stuff, but I just did. We have a lot of Gremlins. This is from Gremlins and New Batch, and Gizmo, an original Gizmo puppet. That's my favorite figure in the whole show. I'm extremely proud of this. This is Anthony Hopkins' light cast from the original muzzle mask from Silence of the Lambs. They take him off the plane with. And that's one of his street jackets and prison uniforms from the same movie. Behind you we have Jack Nicholson's hero axe, his coat and shirt from The Shining. And that is a silicone head of Nicholson, and you can see all the detail on it. It's acrylic teeth, glass eyes, punched hair, and it even has silicone sweat on the forehead to match what he had in the movie. Over here we have Doug Bradley's hero costume and weapons and puzzle box from Hellraiser. Now that costume, when I bought it, that's her hero costume from The Nun. The character was originated in The Conjuring. This is Amber Tamlin's body that's in the closet in The Ring. She's the first victim of The Ring that we see. And of course we all know who this is. That's Bill Skarsgård's original costume as Pennywise from the movie It. And the weird-looking lady standing next to him is the woman that comes out of the portrait. That's the portrait lady from the same movie. Everybody's afraid of Pennywise and clowns. I'm not sure why, but that's pretty scary. That's from The Thing, and that had to be completely rebuilt when I got it. It came from Rob Bottin. It was not in good condition, and now it's in mint condition because a team of people rebuilt it for me. These are various Chucky dolls. That's a good guy doll, a hero doll from 2. That's very rare. That's a Chucky doll from the very first movie, the first time we ever saw it. There's a Chucky good guy box. The Jack Skellington in the back used to be in Burton's office, so that's why I bought that. He's actually only a miniature, about 18 inches high. And what's cool down here is an original Billy Jigsaw puppet. See, he's after people all the time. I love that. Okay, and now here's Jason Voorhees. This is Kane Hodder from Friday the 13th, the final chapter from 1984. So that's a nice Jason piece. That statue was made from all the original molds from the creature from the Black Lagoon, but I made it for Hef, and he put it in the grotto during the Halloween parties. There's a picture of him and the statue in the grotto. That's Chaney Sr. as the Phantom of the Opera. Next to him on the left is Charles Laughton, 1939, from The Hunchback of Notre Dame. That's the best version of that movie ever made. That's Elsa Lanchester as the Bride of Frankenstein. Next to the most famous face in horror movies. That's Boris Karloff as Frankenstein. That's the best thing ever. Everybody thought Karloff was a giant. He was only 5'10", but he had the big shoes and the pads and the clothes. And everybody thought he was a giant, but he was not really that big. Here's Lon Chaney Jr. in his most famous role as the Wolfman, 1941. Beautiful, beautiful piece. And another great Rick Baker sculpt. That's the werewolf from American Werewolf in London. Linda Blair, that's an effects dummy that turns its head around, made from all the original molds from Dick Smith's lab. She's there. Oh, she's still with it. She's still moving. And then this is Harry from Harry and the Henderson. That's the original costume and his head. The Rick Baker again built that. We have a lot of Baker stuff here. And so I started collecting this stuff, and it just grew and grew and grew and became more than a hobby. It just became this obsession with me. And the funny thing is, I spent my entire career, or even from the time I was a kid, I started working professionally when I was 8. I spent my whole career in comedy, but my hobby was collecting all this spooky stuff and horror stuff and sci-fi stuff. It's just the polarity of the work that I did, but it's the stuff that I really, really loved. So I was happy to do it, and I had a lot of fun doing it.